be starting a new chapter. It is chapter 15 from Canto 1. The chapter's name is The Pandava Retire Timely. But we are going to learn today about Sri Krishna in the beginning. Now, just to give you a recap of what happened last time. Last time we saw that Arjuna has returned back from Dwarka. Now when he comes back from Dwarka, he is very forlorn, lost in his own thoughts and dejected. He is showing a sign of somebody who has lost something very dear. And naturally everybody is interested in knowing what exactly has transpired. Because Arjuna is a valiant warrior, he has fought the war. And yet on top of it, there are lots of things which he has, done, and things have happened to him. Even his children died in the Mahabharata war. But he was not so dejected and not so upset. So everybody's question to him was, what is wrong with you? So today we are going to learn about that. Today there is a teaching which Arjuna is giving us through his words. And those words are very, very important. Last time, if you remember, it is Vidura who gave us a lot of beautiful teachings. Yudhishthir was also there. And we got a lot of inspiration from that. Today we are going to get a lot of understanding from Arjuna's words. So now let us proceed. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 15, Canto 1, the Pandavas retire timely, verse 1. Sutta Goswami said, Arjuna, the celebrated friend of Lord Krishna, was grief-stricken because of his strong feelings of separation from Krishna. Over and above all Maharaj Yudhishthir's speculative inquiries. Verse 2. Due to grief, Arjuna's mouth and lotus-like heart had dried up, therefore his body lost all luster. Now remembering the Supreme Lord, he could hardly utter a word in reply. With great difficulty, he checked the tears of grief that smeared his eyes. He was very distressed because Lord Krishna was out of sight and he increasingly felt affection for him. Remembering Lord Krishna and his well-wishers, benefications, intimate familial relations and his chariot driving, Arjuna, overwhelmed and breathing very heavily, began to speak. Now today what we are understanding from Arjuna's demeanor or the way he is going to talk, that he has lost something very, very dear to him. Now, if we remember, Sri Krishna had gone away from the battlefield back to Dwarka. This was in the episodes before. Now, Arjuna also accompanies him. And while Arjuna has gone over there, a lot of things transpire. One of the most important things is the end of the Yaduvansh. There are lots of things which have happened. Now Arjuna is returning back. And Arjuna is totally dejected and upset about things. And Yudhishthir is continuously asking him questions. What happened? Tell me this, that, all those. Naturally, when somebody has got into some kind of a trouble or they are upset and they are in a state of, maybe a depression or something, we normally want to know why is it so. And being his elder brother, he is asking him various questions. The questions have overwhelmed Arjuna and he is in no position to speak. His demeanor is such that he just wants that peace or the quiet because he has lost something very, very dear to his own heart. As you know, one of the greatest teachings which we have taken from our this dharma is about the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is the foundation and the basis of literally everything that we do here in India. See, like everywhere in the world, there are certain books which they abide by, they go by. In our world, we consider everything and we attribute it to the Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna in the middle of the battlefield. It is a dialogue between the soul and the body, the soul and the spirit. You can say it like that. Now, when we look at it from that perspective, we will understand that in this world, as a human being, you are a human being and you need a lot of guidance in this world. Where do you turn to for guidance? Either you may have some mentors in your life, or you may turn towards some scripture. If you have a guru, you will turn towards your guru. Or here in this case, Arjuna as a human being has turned towards Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is the divine consciousness. So within every human being, there is this spark of the divine. We have been taught from our childhood that there is God in everybody. This is what we have heard. But how do we actually look at this God is what we will be learning today from Arjuna. See, the idea that there is a God within, but can you actually see the God within? No. We are so used to our human nature that we are so frail. We get carried away by our mind. We get carried away by the words which people speak. Sometimes we are totally lost in this world. Yesterday when we were doing the Tripura Rahasyam, at that time you understood that there are two things which are extremely important. One is called the scripture, where the teachings of the Lord are given, and the second one is called the guru. So these are very important things. So first you have to know the scriptures from a qualified guru. This you have to understand. Now, there are three things which are associated, which we did yesterday again. What is it that will not allow us to understand or be involved in this process? The first one was called doubt, if you remember it. See, human beings doubt everything in this world. First, they don't listen. Their listening capacity is so poor that they don't listen to anything. If you ask somebody to sit for a satsang for half an hour, people will be fidgeting, will be thinking of other things, they will be thinking of dropping somebody, they will be thinking of cooking, they will be thinking of what happened in the office, 100 different things. So doubts are there because a lot of distractions are there and mind is never steady. So we learnt a lot of stuff yesterday. The same stuff is valid here as well. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, Arjuna is going through his difficult times. He had to be facing Sri Krishna in the battlefield, if you remember. And Sri Krishna had given him so much of knowledge. Now in the entire Bhagavad Gita, if you might have also done it with me. If I ask you a question today, can you tell me what you learnt in the Bhagavad Gita? Do you know what you will tell me? Very selective hearing. I only know this much. One line answer is what you will give me. If I ask you to tell a story, you will tell me a story. But the teaching of Bhagavad Gita is one line answer. Because you have selective hearing. Human beings don't want to hear the whole story. Now, when does this happen that you want to actually think about the whole thing? Do you know when that happens? Has somebody died in your family? If somebody is dead in your family, do you remember you sit and mull over it? Oh, my father said this, my grandfather said this. And we come up with so many things as a past story, as a form of a teaching from all these people. Do you remember this now? This is what you do. It is only when the person goes away that you will remember quite a lot of stuff. Many a times, the sage's story, the saint's life story, never gets written when the saint is alive. It is only by the process of thinking. If you have seen Sai Satcharitra, the red color book here on top, it was written and published 5-6 years later. It was not written when Sai Baba was there. Authentication could have been happening then, isn't it? You understand, there are some stories in it which you want them to be authenticated. You want that to be underlined and said, okay, can you please tell me whether this is right or wrong? But it doesn't happen. It is only in retrospection that things happen. And today's verses which we are doing are actually a retrospection. Arjuna is thinking about what has happened. The body, that is the spirit which is there within us, and the 5 layers of it, is going to think about all the things that could be attributed to Krishna. So Arjuna has this big exercise in front of him where he is going to remember. So the verse says, remembering Lord Krishna and his well-wishes, benefactions, intimate familial relations and his chariot driving, Arjuna, overwhelmed and breathing very heavily, began to speak. So let us see the first word. Well-wishing. Sri Krishna always wishes well. He is never going to say, okay, you should go to hell or something like that. He never says that. The idea that Sri Krishna is a well-wisher should be taken as the gospel truth. Then, benefactions. He is a one who gives you benefits. What are those benefits? We will come to know very slowly now over here. Intimate familial relations. Yesterday and 2 days in a row, Rajma is doing a scripture where she says how Guru is greater than God, Guru is greater than mother and father as well. Isn't that what is written in the Eknathi Bhagavat? Eknathi Bhagavat is nothing but the teachings of Sri Krishna to Uddhava. It's Uddhav Gita, in which Sri Krishna is telling Uddhava how Guru is greater than anything. He is greater than anybody's mother and father. He is greater than anybody else in this world. So, he is greater than the family. So if you believe that your family is somebody who is very close and great, you are mistaken, because these people are only there for some benefit. Nobody is going to be with you once the benefit expires. If you were to see it from that perspective, let us say you have $10 million and you have a son. Now take away the entire property and give it to some outsider. The day the son comes to know that you have given the property to an outsider, he will throw you out. Everybody is self-centered. In this material world, we maintain familial relations, family relations, and relationship with one another because we get benefits. These benefits are like nobody's business. We get benefits like what? An old man and an old woman will be living with each other because companionship. Otherwise, who cares? Tomorrow, if the man or the woman dies, put the other person in a old age home, they will be sitting in that chair for eons. There is actually no relationship there. We are dependent because we expect other person to do something for us. So the wife is dependent on the husband for the money that he gets, for the relationship that he maintains, and so on and so forth. And the husband is dependent on the wife because she is taking care of the house, or she is taking care of the children. She is doing a lot of stuff at home. She may be cooking also, and she may be doing all the groceries and cleaning the place and so many other things. These are familial relations. But they break away the moment something gives up. There are lots of people. Today there is an example. Yesterday I was reading about it. One lady, she divorces her husband. Okay? And goes to her boyfriend and she wants to marry him. Now, why did that woman do this? She said, the son that I have is not your son. It is the son of my boyfriend. Now, this is a woman from, a very small town. Think how she is talking. And based on that, she divorced her husband. Now look at the funny twist in the story. So she goes and she takes up a new name. Okay? And she gives a new name to the son also. The name of the son is on her boyfriend's name. Now, the moment that is done and the man is supposed to go and sign the documents, which the woman thinks he is going to sign, he says, I don't believe he is my son. And he denies it completely. Now this woman is left with nothing but to take the name of her first husband. Correct? Got it? Now, who is the loser in this case? If I ask you the question, you will say the child is the loser or the woman is the loser. No. The first husband is the loser. Do you know the reason why? The moment she has to revert back to the name of the child to her first husband, now he has to pay for the alimony and the upkeep of that child also. So he gets a double whammy over there. Did you get the whole story? So who is the loser here? The loser is the first husband. So now tell me, familial relationship, do they actually work? The only family that you can have is Sri Krishna himself, God Almighty. This you will learn today. And his chariot driving skills. See, Sri Krishna is a great driver. When we say driver, don't consider him as an Ola or an Uber driver, okay? We are talking about somebody who drives your life around. He takes you in different roads. He has got his own system, GPS. Okay? Destination is also fixed. When you sit in his car, your destination is fixed. It's God's positioning system is working over there. Okay? So he takes you where you are supposed to go. That is why he is called the charioteer. So Arjuna is overwhelmed with and breathing very heavily, he began to speak. Now Arjuna is going to speak. Let us see what Arjuna is going to say. Arjuna said, O king, Sri Krishna or Hari, who treated me exactly like an intimate friend, has left me alone. Thus my astounding power, which astonished even the demigods, is no longer with me. I have lost him, whose separation for a moment would render all universes unfavorable and void, like bodies without life. Only by his merciful strength I was able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the palace of King Draupada for the selection of the bridegroom. With my bow and arrow I could pierce the fish target and thereby gain the hand of Draupadi. Now, this is called attribution. Arjuna is today feeling very down and out. And he says that everything in my world, from my birth to death, every instance of my life, it is Sri Krishna who is responsible and he has done everything for me. Now I want to ask you this question as a human being. Do you even attribute anything to Krishna? You see, almost everybody who is not in spiritual will attribute it to their father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, children, you name it, the whole world. If they get a promotion, they will attribute it to their own self and then to the boss or somebody who has given them the promotion, so-called. If you get a job, you will attribute it to because I did well in an interview. Okay? Or this friend recommended me for the job, that is why I got the job. I passed in my examination. You might have gone and prayed to God also. But you know, when I was writing the paper, I remembered everything and I wrote my paper so well. I got this great marks and today I am an engineer, today I am this, today I am that. Because of my ability. My father has funded me for these examinations. I got into these studies, you know. I went to Harvard and Stanford and all this because my father worked very hard. This is how we attribute. The son will attribute like this and the father will say, father and the mother, whoever it is, will say, you see, we worked ourselves so hard that we were able to give our children good education. Everything a person attributes to somebody or the other. Husband will say, my wife is a very good wife, you know, she takes care of the children and the family and this and that and all that. And the wife will attribute it to her husband, saying that my husband is such a great guy, you know. He goes to work, he brings the money, he has built this house, he has done this, he has done that. My pati is a Parmeshwar. She attributes it to that man. Now, think about all these things. We as human beings attribute everything to some average human being in our life. Another person or to our own self. If you are such an egotist, you will say, I studied very hard. This is where you go wrong. Sir, you are there in that place because of God, not because of your own ability. You don't even know where you are going to be born. Do you even have an idea where you are going to be born? No. Do you have an idea that these were going to be your parents? No. Do you even have an idea that they will be having money or not having money, having a house, not having a house? Nothing is in your hands. And yet, we think like this. What is the reason for that? And you attribute your future towards something which is unseen also. I am saving money so that I can give it to my children, I can educate them, I can do this, I can do that. I can buy a house, I can buy properties, I can buy this. It is because of that. I am getting a salary so that I can pay for the EMIs. Is that how you look at life? Please understand, there is nothing like this in the world. You are a petty human being. You don't even know about your own existence. The attribution should never be to some petty human being. And how many dreams a person lives by? The dreams that, my daughter or my son will get educated in Harvard if I save money today. And if I put aside so much amount of money and so much amount of things, and I am building these houses and the properties because of this reason. Really? Did you not hear a story just now where the wife divorces the husband? Did you not hear the story just now? She thought the second boyfriend of hers will take the name. Did he take? No. This man thought good riddance to bad rubbish, the first husband. But no, he can't get rid of the rubbish at all. He has to pay the alimony as well as the upkeep of that child. And now that son who is not his son also becomes his son. I want to ask you this question. If something like this happens in your life, what will you do? Is it in your hands? Think about this pettiness of human being. They think that they can do this for future. Boss, nobody has seen the future. You will be dead tomorrow. How do you know? There is no way of knowing anything. I hope yesterday I gave 3 stories of 3 men. How these 3 men thought that they will enter into a new house. Did I not give you the story? You think that you can control the situation. Do you really control the situation? What is the answer in this? This attribution to human beings should be dropped by you. And who are you to think about your future? You yourself are not there in the future. Who is telling you? You know that Chidiya ka ghosla, like the story we have. Do you remember the story from Uddhav Gita? The story of the pigeon, the male pigeon and the female pigeon and the child. Do you remember that small pigeon? And the hunter comes and catches the small pigeon. The mother says, my baby, my baby, my baby. The mother also gets caught. And the husband also gets caught. So all 3 get caught and all 3 get into like biryani. Pigeon biryani. Boss, you don't even know how future is going to be. Somebody else will take up the property and run away with it. Why are you such a petty human being? Please attribute this, whatever is happening, to God alone. Don't attribute it to average human beings. Don't say my friend gave me a job. No friend of yours can give you a job. No friend of yours can give you an increment in the salary. Please remember this. Nobody in this world can do it except Sri Krishna. He is the one who runs the world. And that is what Arjuna is saying over here. He says that my strength is because of Sri Krishna and not because I am strong. Okay? The strength has nothing to do with a person. You may be feeling, oh yeah, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the gym. Next day you go to lift weights and you are dead over there. Heart attack. You are trying your stunts by, eating a lot of good stuff, like, oh, high proteinaceous diet, this, that. Tomorrow something else only happens and you become something else. You will be like a dead body very soon. How do you know that? You think because of your exercise, because of the food that you eat? No. Be nice to Krishna. Are you understanding what I am saying? Don't believe in all this nonsense. Oh, my Kundali says so, my astrological charts are saying like this. What astrological charts? Astrology is under his feet, Sri Krishna's feet. Okay? Don't bother your head about it. So Arjuna has understood now. After so much of training, he is now understood. He says, because of Sri Krishna who gave me this strength, I was able to overcome all those lusty guys over there. When I went for the Swayamvar, do you remember the Swayamvar? Draupadi Swayamvar. Now, I want you to, for a moment, just wait and think and ask yourself this question. If you are Arjuna, okay, and I am telling you, you are going to win this battle, okay, over here, and you are going to take this woman as your wife. I'm giving you the heads up. I'm telling you what's going to happen. You will have to share your wife with 5 guys. 4 others. Here there are 1,000 standing over here lustily. Forget about these 1,000 people waiting to pounce on Draupadi over there. You remember, Swayamvar is nothing but that. Okay? It's only supposedly a great form of getting married. But it is nothing. It is auction, public auction. I mean, would you like to do Swayamvar to your own daughter today? Ask yourself this question. So this is a very archaic old method. So there are 1,000 people vying for this one girl, and you want to win the battle and you are taking that bride away. But sir, you have to share it with your brothers. Yeah. And because of this woman, you are going to go to the jungle for 14 years. You are going to be king, but you will be going barefoot in the jungle. No Bata shoes also. No Nike over there. Because of her, do you think you will marry? You will run away from that place only, isn't it? So the reason why you are never told about your future is this. I want you to actually dissect these kind of scriptures in your own way of thinking to understand the depth of what is being told. So now think about it. All that I said to you is a part of a story. And then I tell you, you see, tomorrow I will be standing next to you and giving you sage advice, And I will save you, and yet you will be a king. And don't worry, if you lose one wife, it is okay. You will get 5 more others. You are a lusty fellow, you will get 5 more other wives. Right? He is talking about lust of other people. Look at him. I was able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled in the palace of King Draupada. What are you, sir? So, everything is programmed by the dear Lord only. Please understand this. Always give the attribution to God. Don't attribute it to your father, mother, brother, sister, this one, that one. Nobody, please. They are incapable. They are useless people. Even your birth, your mother and father are not responsible. They were told to carry this baby in the womb, for 9 months. So what, brother, mother and all that? No. Give that credit to Sri Krishna. Okay. So in his merciful strength, it is because of his strength that I became the person who was able to win over. And I could pierce that arrow. Now, how many people can say that they can pierce the arrow? Even, you see, there are 1,000 other people. Don't you think it is because of Sri Krishna that he was able to pierce the arrow? There are 999 others waiting over there. Their aim is very bad, is it? I mean, think about it. Come on, you can't have people whose aim is so bad. No. But no. Programming is done by Sri Krishna in his life. So that is why his eyes, the eye of the fish got pierced. Because he was near me, it was possible for me to conquer with great dexterity the powerful king of the heaven, Indradev, along with the demigods associated, and thus assembled the fire god to devastate the Khandava forest. And only by his grace was the demon named Maya saved from the blazing Khandava forest, and thus he could build our assembly house of wonderful architectural workmanship, where all the princes assembled during the performance of the Rajasuya Yajna and paid you tributes. You remember that Lakshagraha, Khandava forest, there are so many stories. I don't want to tell you Mahabharata just now, okay? You want to see, go and watch that B.R. Chopra's Mahabharata. Okay, that's a waste of time just now. But what is he saying? If Krishna was not there with me, I would not have been able to overcome Indradev. So what does that tell you? Who is Indradev? Indradev is the lord of the thunder and lightning and the rain. And he is the king of the gods. Even the king of the gods can't do anything to you, because if Krishna is with you, nobody can do anything to you. See, if the grace of Krishna is there, nothing in this world is going to affect. You see, if, let us say, I am giving you all these stories, all the Dinchak stories that I am giving you all. Now, immediately you start applying it in your life. These stories that happen, you apply it in your life and you immediately say, oh my God, he is talking about me. You are only an example, boss. I don't care. An example, because this satsang may be heard by thousands others in the future. I am not talking to you. So, only if you are my devotee, then I will take care of you. But if you are going to utter one word against me, then you are my enemy. Is it understood or not understood? So if you remember that principal story yesterday which I gave, do you think that lady was my disciple? No. My disciple was Rajma. She took me to her house. I go to that place only for certain reasons. That lady was abusing her guru. Anybody who abuses any guru, they are going to go to hell. The life is going to be miserable. I was in no way connected with that person. But when I heard the words in the way she was speaking about her guru, then naturally you can understand how dense the situation can be for her. So it was nothing to do with me. I just gave you a story. So don't abuse a guru. I was just telling you this. Don't say bad words. Don't say that he has done this and he has done that. That is what I was telling you. But attribution has to be done to him only. Is it understood or no? Don't attribute it to some ordinary folks in this world. Only by Sri Krishna's grace that things happen in this world. So what is Sutta Goswami saying? Remember who is talking to whom? Sukadev is telling Parikshit, this is a scripture written by Vedvyas. Right or wrong? So if you know the scripture, Vedvyas is telling us very clearly in this that in your life you are not at all, you cannot be responsible for anything. But if you attribute and if you are the disciple or the devotee of Sri Krishna, then nothing is going to affect you. But the moment you utter one word against him, finished. Did you understand this? Sudama is the one which you know about. The story of Sudama you know, no? Sudama was a great friend of Sri Krishna. Didn't Sri Krishna help him? Sri Krishna was the gopi in a place where? In Vrindavan and other places, isn't it? Did he not help those people over there by lifting the mountain? So, if you are associated and if you are a dear devotee or a disciple, no harm will come to you. But you got to attribute it. So here he is attributing that even Indradev can be overridden by Sri Krishna. He says even the Khandava forest, you see, he was saved from that place also. That also. Maya, the demon also. And he is the one who gives me the house. See what is written over there? We could build or assemble our house of wonderful architectural workmanship. If you want your house to be built properly, or if you want to buy a house or settle in that house, it is all going to happen because of Sri Krishna, not because you have gone and seen a house or you have built a house. Do you understand this statement? Is it going in your brains? So don't attribute things to an average human being. So even that house which is there, which is Arjuna is saying over here, that also because of Sri Krishna, he gave us the best place to stay. Now, think about it like this. Those who are the devotees who are sitting over here also, is there anything in the world that you are lacking today? When you are short of money, the money will come. When you don't have a job, the job will land up on your lap. If you don't have a visa, the visa will also come to you. If you are not getting a ticket for the air ticket, you will get that as well. Sir, from the simplest to the largest, the most complicated stuff, everything is valid. Take my name. There's a song over there, no? So Krishna says, Sirf mera naam, take my name, I will be there. I will be there for you. Maybe he'll sing that song. We all have to pay tributes to him for that reason. Okay, this is very important. Don't miss these statements out. So every time when something happens, attribute it to Krishna. Don't attribute it to some ordinary people. Your respectable brother, younger brother who possessed the strength of 10,000 elephants, killed by his grace, Jarasandh, whose feet were worshipped by many kings. These kings have been brought for sacrifice in Jarasandh's Mahabhairava Yagya and thus were released. Later they paid tribute to your majesty. Now, what is he talking about? Jarasandh. Shishupal and Jarasandh are the two enemies over here of Sri Krishna. Do you know their story is going on for eons from their back? Part 1, part 2 and all that. Like you have Superman part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 like that. Their enmity is going on for so many years, eons, lifetimes. Jarasandh and Shishupal are the Hiranyaksha and the Hiranyakashipu. They are the Ravanas also. So don't bother your head about all this. So he says, how did you defeat that fellow? Even he can go and pray to whichever god he feels like. You see, Jarasandh was a great devotee of God. And Ravana was a great devotee of Shiva. And yet Sri Ram was able to kill him. So the devotee, whoever it might be, even the enemy, they can go and pray to whichever god they feel like. In front of Krishna, nothing works. Like that. Phew. So, he's talking about a story where Mahabhairava Yagya, Mahabhairava, where you are doing the invocation to Shivji. Sir, you can do invocation to whomsoever you want. If I have to kill you, I will kill you. Krishna is like that. Do you remember the story where he takes his wife also? And then he says, oh, I got hurt. And in the battlefield, he can hold the entire, that wheel also and save Arjuna. You think he can't do that? He's capable of doing anything. Sri Krishna could go to the hell also and whichever place he wants to and bring the children from there. Didn't he bring the children of his guru? So he can go to whichever place and pull them out from there also and say, come on, let's go. So when Sandipani asked for his children, he was able to get it. So Krishna is the ultimate. He is the ultimate divine. And don't go against him. Don't say anything bad. Don't even say that somebody else is doing. No Indra Dev, no other Dev can do. Only he is capable. So that is what he says. Then, it was he who loosened the hair of all the wives of the miscreants, who dared open the cluster of your queen's hair, which has been nicely dressed and sanctified for the great Rajasuya sacrifice. At that time she fell down at the feet of Lord Krishna with tears in her eyes. Whose hairs were dragged? You know that, no? And finally, when the things had to be done, were they not reaching that culmination? The thighs on which he pointed and he said, come and sit on my thigh over here. Weren't they not torn to pieces? The hair which she was dragged, was it not smeared with blood? See, understand how this works. Draupadi is a great devotee of Krishna. And you think Krishna is not going to go to that length to save her? Of course he will do it. So he did that. Her entire life story is written by him. What makes anybody think that she has got a life story of her own? See, when we actually understand the spiritual significance, the reason why I asked you to question is because there are lots of spiritual significance in all these stories. We don't understand them because we hear only the story. We don't understand the spiritual significance of all these stories. So we have to know them. That is why questioning is important. You are sitting for a satsang. Satsang means what? Santo ka sang. People who are in the same category of divinity are sitting over there. You remember the story of that robber who goes and sits for that prayer? It's like that. You can't be here as a robber. You have to be a devotee to understand the truth about divinity. And that is the reason why the devotees are very important. I don't have many people sitting over here for a very simple reason. They will not understand a word of what I am speaking also. That's why some of you, your parents are not sitting over here. Some of you, your husbands or your wives are not sitting over here. For that reason, they are not related to me in any way. If you are listening to it and if you are there as a satsangi, then you will get the teachings of it. What did I say? See, you will get the teaching. When I started, did I say these words? Satsang is all about teachings which you will get. The attribution has to be given to Sri Krishna about everything that happens in the world. Don't put yourself in the story. Are you getting it or no? You are not Draupadi over here. You are not Jarasandha also. If I am telling a story of the principal of a college, you are not the principal of the college. So don't put that topi on your head. If I am telling you a story, it is for taking the teaching of that. Not because you have to put it in your name and attribute it to yourself. Got it or no? Why? Did I not say just now, if you are the devotee or the disciple, your life is not in your hands from any angle. Only Sri Krishna is there. He is taking care of your life. Why are you bothered? You just listen to stories, no? Enjoy every day one new movie. Every day one new movie, but the scenes are more or less the same. Husband, wife, children, mother, father. Same. Characters are going to be the same. Correct? No. Characters will be the same, but story will differ a little bit here and there. End of the day, producer, director, distributor, everything is only one. Sri Krishna production. So if you think you are the actor, that acting role also he is giving. Lapata ladies type. You are getting the role. Maybe. It's only a role. Don't attribute it. It's my story, It's not your story. You just be the devotee. Why are you bothered about the rest of the things? End of the day, nothing is in your hands. Am I clear about this whole thing? Arjuna understood finally in this book. He is at least understanding little bit. Got little brains. So he is saying, even in case of Draupadi, everything was in Sri Krishna's hands. So we have come to the end of verse 10 over here. We will stop over here. Tomorrow we will continue from the next verse.